Hi Capricorn, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for July. I hope everybody's doing great. I am going to take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Capricorn. So guys, take what resonates for you. Just leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, get in where you fit in. But as always, Capricorn, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Capricorn? Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, let's see what you got going on. We have the Chariot in the reverse. We have the Fool. And we have the Hangman. Some stuck energy here. I feel like you want to take a risk. There's something new here that you want to get off the ground. But you could be doubting whether or not it's going to be successful. So you're not moving forward. You're not making any moves here. You're waiting. You're holding back. But this is a new beginning you might be wanting to take a risk on. So let me see who is in your energy. Show me who is in Capricorn's energy, please. Who is in Capricorn's energy? A lot of holding back energy, and I feel like you're deliberately holding back. You're waiting, you're observing, you're thinking. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Knave of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Magician. Could be dealing with a Gemini. And we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So the person that's in your energy, this person could be trying, having a little bit of financial difficulty. They're manifesting, but I feel like they're manifesting finances here. There's some instability in their money right now. It may be coming in smaller amounts than what they're looking for. So that's a difficult thing for this person, but I do see them manifesting, but their focus seems to be on their finances and their money. I do feel like this is somebody that is not currently talking with you right now. And it doesn't seem to be malicious in any form. It's just that they're busy over here manifesting. I do see that this person may be viewing this as being a connection that would be unstable, though. So let's see. Let me see. Or they could have recently gone through an ending as well. Let me see the energy between Capricorn and this person. King of Cups in the reverse. So there's feelings here, but nobody's expressing them. You're making a decision to hold back, to wait. You're kind of wanting to move towards that person, but you're not going to. You're like, nope, I'm not making a move here. This person is, really focusing more on their money. They do have some feelings for you and you for them, but nobody's expressing them. Nobody's expressing anything. Let me see what's affecting this connection. You could be dealing with a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Show me what's affecting this connection between Capricorn and this person. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. That's stuck energy. Now for you, it's stuck energy. There is some stuck energy here for you. It's almost like you've dug in your heels and you're like, I am not moving forward. I am not going to come towards this person. So you're kind of waiting. You're kind of waiting here. You're thinking, you're observing. But part of you wants this new beginning. Yeah. And for this person, it's again having to do with the money. Their money is not coming in the amounts or the speed that they want. And this is somebody who is a good manifester, so they are very, very much focused on, manifesting their money right now. And that's what's affecting this. They're preoccupied. Yeah, they're preoccupied. Let me see. Show me the outcome between Capricorn and this person. Ten of Wands in the reverse. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. So I don't know how we're getting there, Capricorn, but we're getting there. All right, so bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. This is underlying energy. It does indicate as an underlying energy that somebody's in a painful situation. You could have gone through a very painful ending, or it could be that you're, feeling trapped in a painful situation. I feel like this person has some issues that they're feeling kind of trapped in. It's like they're longing for peace, and they're just feeling very trapped in a situation that is just painful to them. They could have also gone through an ending and felt a sense of betrayal. So take it as it resonates. But let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Chariot in reverse for Capricorn? Four of Coins, Ace of Wands, and the Four of Swords. So you're really very much focused on your own stability right now. I feel like you've kind of pulled back from this person. You have passion towards this person, though. I feel like you have a lot of passion towards this person, but you don't want to get emotionally involved. So you're not moving towards them. You're a little bit guarded here. And there's a part of you that's still kind of holding on to this person's energy, but I don't see you talking with them. Yeah, I don't see you talking with them. Why is the Fool here? Your stability is extremely important to you. The Strength card, and there's the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Now that's in your outcome as well. So I feel like you're working on yourself right now, Capricorn. However, once this Ten of Wands goes into effect, once things are resolved, and that's coming from your side, that's when there's going to be this new beginning. There's something here you want to get worked out before you have any new beginnings. And I feel like you are doing that. I feel like you have these conversations with yourself, Capricorn. Part of you says, I need to protect myself. I need to guard myself. I need to make sure that everything is stable in my life. So therefore, I'm not going anywhere near this person. I'm not talking to this person. It was just this was just a fling. This is just something I have feelings, like passionate feelings, but I know better. And then the other part of you is saying, why can't I let go of that person? Why am I still thinking about that? Why do I have these strong feelings? And then you're like, I don't think this is a problem. Why has this got to be a problem? And part of you just wants to, and it's that, it's an impish side of you that just wants to just jump into, into something with this person. So it's almost like you are arguing with yourself here. Yeah. All right, so let's see why the Hangman is here. Page of Swords and the Six of Coins. Yeah, so while you're hanging out, just waiting, arguing with yourself, you're doing a little spying. You're doing a little checking up on this person. I do feel that you also feel that you have a lot of people that you're responsible for here. So you're kind of checking up on this person to see, are they even a balanced individual? What do they see in me? Why was there any kind of a connection? Because I can see that there was a connection here. There was, at one point, there was a new beginning of some sort. And so you're kind of checking up on this person. Yeah. Some of you are finding that this person is working on their money. You may find that this person has a lot of responsibilities. They have a lot of people looking up to them. But you're just kind of hanging out over here, Capricorn, arguing with yourself, spying on this person. So, let's see this person's energy. Why is the Page of Pentacles here in reverse? All right, so we have the Three of Swords reversed, and we have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, so I do see this person losing sleep at night. They're worried, but they're worried about their money. I also feel like they're healing from a heartbreak. So for some of you, this person went through an ending where they felt a lot of pain, and they still think about this heartbreak. They're actively healing right now. Whoever this painful ending was, I don't feel like it was with you. I feel like it was outside of this connection, but they're actively healing from it, and sometimes they feel trapped in that pain. Other times they feel a lot better. I do feel like this is somebody, especially at night. Nights are difficult for them because they worry. They worry about their money. They worry about, this past painful experience. They even worry about how to heal themselves. They worry sometimes about whether or not they have feelings or emotions towards you. So I feel like this is somebody that is very stressed out right now. Let me see why the Magician is here. Page of Wands reversed, and the Three of Wands reversed. This person's tired of waiting for their manifestations to come through. Yeah, they're feeling impatient for their money to come through. They feel like everything is stuck, nothing is moving forward, but they don't want to talk to others about this. They don't want to reveal this to others. There could have been a relationship that this person was in. It could have even been with you, because I feel like whatever this is relatively new, that ended here. So, but they're okay with that because they're manifesting, they're manifesting their finances. Yeah, so they may feel this isn't the right time for this connection as well. This person's got a lot going on, Capricorn. But they are a powerful manifester. They're manifesting their ships to come in. And they're impatient for that to happen. They're manifesting a new love in their life, a new love interest. So I feel like this is somebody who is a powerful manifester, but for some reason that's not being revealed here in the cards, their manifestations are like stuck. They're not coming through. Why is this Ace of Pentacles in reverse? There it is again, the Magician. Strong Gemini energy. All right, so we have the Eight of Swords reverse, and we have the Magician. So again, this person is manifesting their money. They're manifesting stability. They're manifesting money. I feel like this person feels that if their manifestations can just finally come through, that it'll free them, because they're feeling stuck with this Ten of Swords. They're feeling like if the things that they're manifesting will finally just appear, finally just come through, that's going to take them out of all this anxiety, out of all this worry. It'll free them from this. So yeah, they're definitely focused on that. And they're highly manifesting finances and money, but they're also manifesting new love, and they're manifesting stability. And keep in mind, Capricorn, this is not somebody who's manifesting in a small way. This person is manifesting a large sum of money, not small. So they just feel like if they continue to manifest and their manifestations finally come through, it'll free them from all the anxiety that they feel. All right, so why is the King of Cups in reverse? This is the energy between you and this person. Justice, Libra energy. Six of Swords reversed, and the Nine of Wands reversed. So this would actually be a very balanced, equal give and take here. You're both trying to do the right thing by the other person, which is admirable. And I feel like you're not talking with this person, but you haven't really moved on. You haven't moved away from this person. Yeah. You have some passionate feelings for this person, and you legitimately have some feelings that you're not expressing. You have expressed the passion, though. And I feel like part of you is kind of holding on to their energy, but you're guarded, and you're like, you're like not talking, you know, but you have not moved on from this person. Now, in their energy, they're trying to resolve problems. The things that keep them up at night, which is slow-moving finances, and heartbreak from something else. This person was heartbroken over something. So they're not as trusting as they may have been in the past. For some of you, this person's going through a divorce. There's a legal energy here. There's something about some kind of legal commitment. But I do feel like this is somebody who is not very trusting. They're not at all very trusting. They're trying to resolve the problems that they have. And they may feel that even though they want love in their life, they don't have the time for it right now. So, let me see. Show me the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Why is this energy here? Eight of Cups reversed. And the World. So you may have actually kind of walked away from this connection. And if you have, it looks like you're coming back to resolve, you know, problems with this person and to have a new beginning. So some of you may have actually walked away from them. I can see there's been a gap in the communication. And even if you walked away from this person, it was because you were trying to avoid chaos. You wanted peace in your life. But I feel like, you know, you never fully, emotionally anyway, walked away. You just weren't expressing those emotions and you weren't talking. But I feel like if you walked away from this person, you may be backtracking. You may be coming back towards this person for a new beginning. After you finish arguing with yourself about that. Because you do have strong feelings for this person. You're willing to take a risk. And it could be if this person walked away, you're hoping that they're going to be coming back towards you in order to resolve the issues and the problems. In their energy, I feel like this person is just waiting for this cycle where their money is slow, where the love in their life is slow. They're wanting to put an end to that. They want to be able for that cycle to end and a new cycle begin where their ships are coming in, their wealth is coming in, love is coming in, you know, where they're feeling abundant. And so they're over here manifesting that. And they're strong manifester. Very strong manifester. So while there is stuck energy here, that cycle is coming to an end. It is. And whoever walked away from this connection is going to be returning in order to resolve the problems here. And I feel like that's your energy. So let's see the outcome, Capricorn. Show me the outcome. All right, Queen of Wands, the Sun, and the Seven of Wands. So I see that you're going to come towards this person to try to resolve the issues between the two of you. However, it's going to wind up in a standoff. Neither of you are really budging. I feel like you want something that is balanced and equal, and you're willing to wait for that. Okay? But it is going to make you happy, you know, to hear from this person. There could also be other people that are trying to interfere in this connection. You may, Capricorn, belong to some sort of a community here. And this community could be saying, Capricorn, what are you doing? This is not, you know, that's not what you should be doing. But you're feeling, well, this person makes me happy, because I do feel like this person's very attractive and you're very attracted to them. You could be dealing with a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. I feel like you will stand your ground if that's the case. Yeah, I do feel like some of you guys have a community and they're telling you, you better check and see, because, you know, this person you're getting involved with is not who you think they are. And I feel like you're kind of like, okay, you know what? they make me happy. And you'll stand your ground with regard to that. Now, in their energy, this person with this Queen of Wands here, they could have a side hustle or a business, or they could be a manager of some sort. This is a very attractive person. This is somebody that people enjoy being around. They're very charismatic. I feel like they're a great manifestor. They could also do something with regard to some form of spell work, because you've got this Queen of Wands here with the Magician. So that's somebody who is a spell worker as well. That could be what you're checking up on or people are talking about. But regardless, this person, I feel like they're also attracted to you. There's definitely an attraction. This person makes you feel happy. I do feel like the two of you kind of are like standing your ground in your positions. Like you're not trying to give a lot of emotion to this connection. Even though you feel some emotion, but you're more like, okay, this is more about the passion here. This person is very focused on their finances and their money, particularly if they happen to be a business owner of some sort. And I do feel like they've got a hustle that's going over here, like, you know, for their money, because their money's just not where it needs to be, which is affecting their stability. And so I do feel like that's where a lot of their focus is right now. And you're each going to kind of stand your ground with regard to that. But the truth of it is that you're both kind of passionately drawn to each other. There are some feelings here that are not being expressed by either party. And while they're very drawn to you because you make them feel very, very attractive, they make you feel happy. And I do feel like on both sides you could have somebody, a community, particularly on your side, that is saying, you know, this isn't a good relationship. All right, so bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. That is underlying energy. It tells me that you're coming into your power here. It tells me that somebody, most likely this person, is extremely focused on their money. It tells me you're coming into your power here. And it also tells me that that's a painful process for each of you. All right, I'm going to pull some oracles, Capricorn. It's a very interesting read. I'm going to pull some oracles. We'll see. And you know, if you've got a community telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing, maybe you need to tell them to mind their own business. Because, you know, most Capricorns are pretty grounded and they think things through. So, you know, make your own decisions. It says romance. Cupid's arrow strikes. And that's what I'm saying. So follow your own intuition here on this, Capricorn. Don't listen to the community. All right, I'll talk to you in your next reading. I hope this has resonated. If it has, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And until I do see you in your next reading, Capricorn, namaste.